Hare Krishna. Shripad Aindra Prabhu. Aindra Prabhu was born in Virginia, USA in 1953 in an artistic family. His father played bluegrass music, his mother the harp, his brother the bass, and he himself took to the guitar, as well as other instruments and crafts. He happened to meet the devotees in Washington, D.C. in the summer of 1973 while they were out on street Sankirtan. Aindra Prabhu eagerly joined in, followed them back to the temple, and moved in more or less right way. A few months later, on Nityananda Trayodasi, he was initiated into the Gaudiya Sampradaya and given the name Aindra Das by Srila Prabhupada. Aindra Prabhu was the epitome of a sadhaka, always endeavoring to go to the extra mile to show Krishna that he was serious about devotional service. For years, he chanted 100,000 names of God every day, and he gradually increased to 200,000. He also counseled devotees, studied the books of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. He also worshipped Sri Sri Radha Shyamsundar in the temple and his personal deities in his room. He transformed the Brahmachari quarters into a transcendental art gallery, scrubbed the toilets, and led the electrifying kirtans that won him a place in devotees' hearts the world over. He first began deity service in Washington, D.C. in 1974, continued that service on the Radha Damodar traveling Sankirtan party, then in New York City until 1986, and since then in Vrindavan. On the auspicious day of Rama Vijay Dashami, the 24-hour kirtan started under the auspices of Aindra Prabhu, and it remained so for the next 24 years. On the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he performed Sankirtan, both publicly and privately, for 24 years, Aindra Prabhu also journeyed to Vrindavan 24 years ago with the intention of dedicating his body, mind, and soul to the Sankirtan movement. It was not an overnight success. Until 10 years, living in Vrindavan throughout the year was a most difficult affair, especially in the summer. So initially, Aindra Prabhu was alone, because the few devotees who joined him now and then in Vrindavan were not able to put up with the austerities. Purity is the force, and indeed, quality men began to feel attracted to joining Aindra Prabhu's program during their visits to Vrindavan. When the responsible devotees started trickling in, they began recording Aindra Prabhu's kirtans and spread it throughout the world. And this brought many devotees to Vrindavan. Although Aindra Prabhu was a simple sadhu, deeply immersed in his internal meditation in Vrindavan, he was also very merciful to the conditioned souls, wanting them to get the great treasure of the holy name. So he produced several kirtan albums for the transcendental pleasure of the devotees. To produce music in Vrindavan is no small feat, but for the sake of authenticity, Aindra Prabhu went through the ordeal. And so, the sound of peacocks, parrots, and other Vrindavan living entities mingles charmingly with the sound of Aindra Prabhu's enchanting songs on albums such as Chintamani Naam, Vrindavan Mellows, and others. As Aindra Prabhu's transcendental fame grew well-to-do, devotees felt inspired to contribute to the maintenance of the 24-hour Kirtan party. But Aindra Prabhu was not interested in living comfortably and whenever the occasion arose, he would give donations to the temple. Aindra Prabhu had the potency to stay in one place and affect the world. There is great value in sitting in one place and just chanting purely the holy names for the benefit of humanity. He left his body while preparing to cook for his deities in July 2010, and he surrendered his last breath at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, to whom he had pledged his life. In retrospect, one can easily conclude that Aindra Prabhu was steadiness personified. All glories to 24 hours Kirtan at Krishna Balram Mandir, Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you. For more videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hare Krishna.